Hello, this is Pop, your online storyteller. I've got something special for you today, so sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Hello, I'm Suitcase, but you can call me SC for short. You'll probably notice that I'm very beautiful, but I don't have a mouth, so I really can't do the talking. So I'm afraid I'm going to have to use Pop to tell you my story. I'll see you later. Bye.
Hello, this is Pop, your online storyteller. The story I want to share with you today is not from my book of Fantastic Adventures or the second book of Fantastic Adventures or the Adventures of Tiny the Bear. Those are the books you can see in the background, but this story is based upon fact. It's a true story. My daughter Lisa some years ago went on a trip to Europe, and the airlines lost her suitcase, and she didn't get it returned until the day she was coming home, or the day before she was coming home. So this is the story of what that poor suitcase went through to finally get reunited with Lisa. So are you ready to hear it? Good. It's called The Missing Suitcase, based upon a true story. Hello, my name is Suitcase, but you can call me SC for short. I am a soft, floral, expensive Victorian case, and my appearance is simply gorgeous. I was purchased by a young lady named Lisa. Apparently, Lisa likes to travel, which pleases me, for I don't approve of being incarcerated in a closet for most of my life. A few weeks ago, I discovered that Lisa was planning a trip to Europe, and I was hoping she was going to include me in her plans, and I would be able to accompany her. Her itinerary was a trip which included London, England, Paris, France, and Barcelona in Spain, flying out on Delta Airlines. The first stage of the trip took us from Wilmington, North Carolina, where we abide, to Atlanta, Georgia, then on to Paris, and then to Barcelona, finally dropping off in London for a final conference before returning home to the United States. How exciting! I enjoyed the pleasure of accompanying her to the airport at Wilmington. Once we arrived, I was suddenly checked in with a lot of ghastly baggage, and many were horrible, gross, hard cases which I wasn't too pleased to be with, as I'm not very partial to crowds because I'm a very private, exclusive suitcase. Also, I am new and special, and most of the other cases were rather old and common. To top it all, some cases were boasting about all the places they had visited and all the knocks and bruises that they had suffered. Other older cases went on, bragging and showing off their stickers from all the different countries they had travelled to. Some cases were even bragging about their ordeal of getting lost. So you can imagine I was rather apprehensive about this trip. After some time, I was transported to the aircraft with several others. This was a relief, as I didn't have to put up with the boastings and railings of so many other uncouth cases which were stacked up in the waiting area. We appeared to be stuck in holding for a very long time until we heard a rumour that the plane was delayed due to bad weather in Atlanta. The plane finally left more than an hour later than its scheduled time. After that, I don't quite know what happened to me. I think I was left in Atlanta for about 3 days, and I was certainly missing Lisa. I felt so stuffed, almost constipated, and needed her to unpack me. I wanted to be in a nice, warm, luxurious hotel room where I could see Lisa and have her hang up all the nice clothes that I had the privilege of carrying for her. Finally, someone came and took my tags off and started putting stickers on me. Now, I know that small children love to wear stickers, but I'm not a small child, and the stickers were not adding to my beautiful appearance. It was so embarrassing. After this ordeal, I finally ended up in Paris, I think. Initially, I wasn't really sure, for I was no longer flying on Delta, but on Air France, and they were not speaking English. Can you imagine being on a plane where the people in control are not speaking the Queen's English? Absolutely outrageous. When we arrived in Paris, they put me on a carousel which went around and around for hours before it stopped. I must tell you, I was quite giddy and ended up being the only case left on there. I know children like to ride on carousels, but not for hours and hours. Anyway, I'm not a child, and if I was, I would have probably thrown up on that carousel, and it would have served them right. They finally took me off and put me in a dark, dreary room, and I stayed in that awfully uncomfortable room at the Paris airport for about 2 days. Then they sent me to Manchester, a city in England. A nasty place, with very cold and crowded it was. Again I was stuck in a cold, draughty room. Unknown to me, Lisa had decided to visit some friends in Manchester for a couple of days. I was finally told that Lisa was coming to collect me, but I had arrived at the unearthly hour of 1 a.m. in the morning. It wasn't until 8:30 a.m. later that morning that I discovered that Lisa had attempted to take me at 7:30 a.m., but they wouldn't let her in to collect me because they officially didn't open the doors until 8:30. So she had to fly out again without me. Can you imagine that? Then they said they were going to send me back to Paris, but someone thought it would be a good idea to send me to Fort Lauderdale in Florida. So I was stuck there for a couple of days. Now some of you may think, what's so bad about Fort Lauderdale in Florida? The beach, sunny warm weather, but I was in another dark room. Anyway, I wouldn't want to be stuck on a beach for a couple of days, although if I'd been in a nice hotel room looking out over the balcony at the ocean, that might have been acceptable. Anyway, it didn't happen. Finally, someone decided that I really should be in Paris, which where I was in the first place. When I arrived back there, they found out that Lisa was now in London, so they shipped me off again. I finally arrived in London the day before Lisa was due to return home to Wilmington, North Carolina. It was really good to be finally in the hotel in Lisa's room and to be unpacked. Unfortunately, I now had to share the room with another suitcase, which Lisa was obligated to purchase. Also, there were a lot of new clothes and toiletries which she had needed to purchase also. As I said before, I'm not partial to having other cases around me, as I'm very private suitcase. When she took me and that other horrible case to the airport the next day, that atrocious case had the audacity to believe she was more important than I. Then the airline had the nerve to try and charge Lisa excess baggage for taking me back home. Can you believe that? Absolutely outrageous. I was so looking forward to being treated respectfully for once, but unfortunately it didn't happen with that airline. I'm thinking of forming an elite suitcase campaign to force the airlines to allow suitcases like me to travel first class with special treatment. If I decide to email you my campaign name list, please consider adding your email name and address to support my cause. Thank you, SC, as told to Pop Pop. Bye bye.
Well, hello, I'm back again. As you can see, I'm in almost pristine condition because all those horrible stickers that were placed upon me were removed by my mistress, Lisa. And I'm so happy to have gone through that ordeal without any scratches. I'm not sure if I'm going to fly again. It was such an ordeal. But anyway, it was good telling you my story. I hope to see you again. Perhaps we'll meet on the carousel or somewhere else. Bye-bye. Have a wonderful day.